Ba 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 ba. Hello, bastards. Hey, a little audio clipping today. I wonder why that is. How are you all? Sorry for being a little late today, but I was having such a great time with Scotty Love. We went to the Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the beautiful world-class art museum on 82nd Street and 5th Avenue in Manhattan, if you're from the Bronx. How are you all today? It's great to see everybody. Dave, Fahrenheit 451 got in there at number one. Dave, you know what you got to do. You have to send me an email, tell me how I can contact you with a video message now. Basher of the Day. I have to do a song that kind of resembles the song from Les Miserables. To get that going, you gotta let me know. Are you on WhatsApp? Because that's the best way to do it, unless you're available. Some email's not working. It's like I gotta send it, and then it wants to use some kind of Google Drive or Apple iCloud bullshit. Annoying stuff, all of it. The best way to do that is to just make a video on my phone and send it to you. WhatsApp seems to be the best way to go about doing that. Franco Fiore at number 2. Duh. Thank you so much, Franco Fiore. Andrew Wolkowicz is here with Canadian 10 balloons, working till 5:30, but hopefully I'll catch a part of the show. Well, guess what? You're home because it's 6:03, darling. Everyone upvote or give a like. Check to make sure that you are still subscribed and be an inspiration and into others' lives and be a blessing. Be all those things. And for that, my darling, you get the super chat call. Nader Pritz is here. Oh my God, it's impossible to be number one. It's not impossible. It happens. It can happen to you, Nader Pritz, and I hope it does. Melly C. Good day, Dirk and all the bastards. Wearing my weekender. I did wear my Milgauss today, and I have some nice little photographs to show you from our day at the museum. What a wonderful guy. I cannot tell you, I've met very few of you in the flesh, and it was like old friends. It was like crazy old friends. Very like-minded fellas, enjoying art. He is quite the art historian, an artist in his own right. And I've been to that museum, but not in a long time. And he took me around like it was a private tour at the museum. His art history knowledge is incredible. Took me to see some things that I probably would avoid or I would just skip past, and got to appreciate all of those things. Something I don't really do very often. And I did check out doing a bash about at the museum, but they frown upon handheld hoo-ha. And I can understand that. It's people are there to see art, and if people are walking around with these things, it's a pain in the hull. I didn't see a single solitary one of them. Okay, so some things work, some things don't, and what are you gonna do? It's fine. I didn't know what to think before. You never know what to think before you meet somebody. It's almost like online dating. You have no idea what that person's going to be like. On paper, they sound great. Now, for those of you who, you all know who he is, Scotty Love. He's the guy that I didn't know, and out of nowhere, he had heard that I said I don't have any decent wine glasses anymore because Colin Smith, my friend, had broken them all at one point or the other, and I'm just doing the Emmett O'Malley and just drinking out of little beakers, and it's fine, like an old Italian guy. But he sent me those beautiful Riedels, and I use them on the Friday night show when I'm not doing a bash about to the ends of the world. And that's who he is. Anyway, I wound up, he's in town. He said, do you want to meet? And let's go to a museum. What a cool place. So I know I'm not going to get chopped up in 50 pieces. And it was an extraordinary experience because I felt like I've known him my whole life. Learned a couple of interesting things about him in the process and each other. And we even stopped and had coffee because he's a member. Fancy. And we went to the members lounge and had some like a little charcuterie board. And I'm going to sneeze, or am I? And it's so humid in New York. And I went from this beautiful air-conditioned museum to the depths of hell, which is New York City in the summertime, and then the subway, and then home to my meat locker. So a lot of atmospheric stuff making me sneeze. Sorry about that. More about the museum when we get to the Gallery of Bastards, because I did take some shots. He took some shots, and I have them all for you. I am constantly reminded on a daily basis how wonderful you folks all are, and what a pleasure it is to do this show each and every day for you and for me, because it adds a certain kind of comfort and security, and just the loving grace of all the people who deem to be bastards. That's you. Vasilios P is here. Good evening from Greece. Good evening to you. Look at that thing. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a very interesting looking Batman there. It's the blue looks different, but I like it. I like it. I like it. What is that? Is that a wall clock or is that an actual watch? Can't tell. Angelo Minichello. Hey, all, he's leaving on a prop plane. Tomorrow morning, a little getaway, a prop plane. I've been on planes my entire life because of my dad and American Airlines and all that stuff. I love planes. I love getting on them, but I have been offered so many seats on private planes, not jets, not Learjet. I would jump at the chance to do that. But I have been offered to go on, Pipers and Cessnas and things like that. And I've always said no. I know I don't know. I have no idea. Upvote at number 18. It's Watch It's Brian. Bash on, you wild bastards. Looking great. What a great day, Brian, I had today in the museum. You would have loved it too, because I know you're Epicurean and a man of the arts. Vasilios P, number 16. Billy G, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Billy G, great to see you in the room. Hey. It is my compatriot in the band, Hitman, and my friend and co-producer, collaborator, and super talented friend, Mr. Baki. Hey. Having a fall. Carlos Paggi is here on time this time. Howdy, Dirk, and all you fine Basherdirks. Basherdirks, that's a new one. I haven't seen that one yet, as of yet. Isn't that great? Carlos Paggi says, bless you. No, bless. Oh, thank you, because I'm sneezing. You're so funny. Ray, Dirk, just thumbed you up. Thumb me up, baby. Upvote. I don't know where that... I don't know where that term came from. I only hear it in the watch community. Maybe it's a European expression. I don't know. But here it's give it the thumbs up. It's at the bottom of the screen on the left-hand side, right? Isn't that where it is? I hope that's where it is. I have no idea. Vasilios P, 38 degrees Celsius today and 20% humidity and a sudden thunderstorm. We need a sudden thunderstorm because it is thick as a brick. It's better today than it was yesterday when I did the bash about. That was absolutely horrific. I was wrung out like an old mop. I mean, walking through Central Park, it was 95 degrees and probably 85% humidity. It was thicker than a brick of Swiss cheese. Hideous. Oh, it's a -7. That's what you're flying upon. And Kevin Hawthorne is in the room. Good evening. Good evening to you. I remind everybody how this channel is all about doing deeds and favors and being kind and open the door and saying please and thank you. Well, Kevin Hawthorne is one of those guys that does exactly that every day, donates all of his time to the beautiful people of Lakeland, Florida, and he helps them to get where they're going with his unbelievable knowledge of the transit system, something that is a savantism for him. He's able to do it, and it's incredible. I wish I had such a skill. What a beautiful, beautiful person you are. Vasilios is saying it's horrible weather, and man, I don't doubt it. Easy E. Central Park is 832 acres. Good thing you didn't walk the whole thing. Well, I probably did 150 of those because holy crap. was at 4 hours, almost 4 hours, right? Did I do 4 hours or did I do 3 hours? I don't remember. I think I wrapped it up around, so it's just under 3 hours. Started out on Fifth Avenue. I went to the DG. You know what I didn't realize? And I can show you because you can see the stuff that I use. This is the device I use for the walkabout. I've shown this to you before. This was the piece that it's in my house somewhere. I have no idea. And I was like, oh, good. They have it in gray. And then I put it on and it totally doesn't match. I mean, it doesn't matter. This thing turns into a tripod so I can put it down and have a beer or a glass of water or something. This is a very cool thing, though. The way it operates is you flip it up and then it turns itself on. Right now, it's telling me that there's absolutely no battery and absolutely no phone attached to it. But very cool. I started out at the DJI store. And Ray, I hope your friend is doing well. I love it. It makes beeps, banks, boops, boops to tell you what's going on there. I guess this is the only one they sell to. They don't sell the white one, which this comes in, or the gray one. So they give you something that's somewhere in between. It doesn't matter. But when I saw it, I was like, well, this doesn't match. Somewhere I'll find my real one, and that's fine. And I don't care. I don't care. Easy E says, all next week in the mid-90s, no relief in sight, folks. And you know what? It's your fault. And my fault. It's all of our faults for what we're doing to the beautiful planet Earth. And if people don't think that's true, they're out of their minds. We're just fucking up the whole planet with global emissions and all that stuff. And I was even saying to Scotty, we had a million conversations, that digression was crazy. You think I'm bad? Maybe it was me the whole time because he had lots to say and I had lots to listen to. And I was like, it's so fun when you blab, 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 blab all day to actually hear somebody else talk and be enthralling. Absolutely enthralling. He's a dashing fellow and a sweet, kind, incredible family man. And I'm honored to now consider him a friend, and I hope he feels the same way. It was a great day. We had such a good time. The museum was spectacular. But yesterday's Bashabout, I didn't know where to go. It was kind of a dead room. For the most part. I don't know if everybody's suffering from the heat or whatever's going on, unless you're in Alaska or at one of the poles. So then I made my way uptown through the park to the band shell, to the Bethesda fountain, walked around. You guys got to see the rambles. Hello. I didn't go deep in there because I'm scared. And then finally wound up my way all the way down by the Dakota at 72nd Street and showed you the Langham and the San Remo apartments. When you hit it big and when you make that big ass money, that's what you do in New York City. You get an apartment on the Upper West Side on Central Park, because that, my friends, is the cuntiest place you can live. It is so beautiful architecturally. The East Side is nice, but however, I think the building boom of the 50s, 40s, and 50s, the post-war, that took its toll the most on the East Side because the Upper West Side is still intact. A lot of their historical buildings, not that there isn't on the East Side, there is. It's just there's something about it. And also, the Upper East Side has always been a Tony neighborhood, an upscale neighborhood. The Upper West Side was actually a little bit seedy and considered less desirable, so maybe they just didn't feel it was necessary to build there. But they did. And even behind the Dakota, there's one stupid building that makes no sense whatever. And if you watch Rosemary's Baby, the beginning of the movie, they fly over the dormers of it's like a helicopter shot. Now you'd use a drone, which would be so much smoother because helicopter shots were always a little fluttery. You don't see that building because it wasn't there yet, because it's this big, ugly, modern building juxtaposed next to the incredible architecture that is the Dakota. My favorite building in New York City, my favorite living building you may live in, residential building. There's lots of other buildings that are quite beautiful, etc., etc., etc. So we wound up there, and I hope you had a good time. For those of you who joined us, and I want to thank everybody. There's just not enough water in the world. I had a triple espresso in the members lounge at the Met, which is, man, See, I have another little in there because my father-in-law is a emeritus for the National History Museum, for the Natural History Museum. So therefore, I always get, like some carte blanche, but I've never been in the members lounge. Another place I'd never been in is the Admirals Club at American Airlines, because even though we got to fly for nothing and all of those great perks, we were never allowed in the lounges. It was a strict rule. And man, I gotta say, I could get used to lounge life. I certainly could, because we were seated at these lovely couches, and we had some coffees, and they kept filling our water, and then we got a little nibble plate. It was some charcuterie, etc., etc. He had the meats, I had the cheeses. He had the meats, I had the cheeses. And we just sat there and gabbed while we looked at Manet, Monet, Van Gogh, Rodin, triptychs, African art, lots of musical instruments. It was a day I actually didn't want to end. I had such a good time. It was a fantastic day of getting. It's really fun to get to know somebody that you might have slight conversations with, little interactions with. When you really get to sit down and know somebody, and you share a lot of things, and you have a lot in common, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I loved every single second of it. What a great guy. And I've got the pictures to prove it. Hitesh C says, "Hey all, upvote please. Please upvote if you can." Upvoting, that's the thumbs up button on the bottom. And check to make sure that you're subscribed. We have a little bit of a glitch in the machine that will eventually figure out one way or another. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you, get you, get you, get you. Yesterday I found out that Hanging on the Telephone was a cover song. And I never knew that. I'm in the phone booth. It's the one across the hall. Blondie. I was in a Blondie mood all day yesterday. Blondie, Blondie, Blondie. All day yesterday. I did not know that was a Nerves cover. Now I'm going to have to listen to it. I haven't had a chance to do so yet. But that song is so synonymous with Deborah Harry. I find it impossible to believe that it's not. So weird. I thought she wrote that my whole life. Easy says too much emissions. TWSS. I don't know what that means, but you'll tell me in a minute. It's Fargo. Good evening, Dirk and the Bastards working the night shift, so I'll catch this later on. Great to see you with his Christopher Ward. As always, he's a brand ambassador, and if he's not, he should be. It should be, because that guy pumps that so much more than anybody I've ever known. And you know what? That dial is good, gorgeous. I love it. One thing I've learned since being a part of, this community is a little bit different from the watch community. We all know that. And it's kind of created itself out of the ashes of whatever we all came from. When I got involved in the watch community, if I even did, a couple of things I learned for sure is, one, I hate all the dealers because they're just dickheads. And I love the enthusiasts. I love the people who are passionate. And I lost all of my biases. Like, I used to think like Rolex, that's tacky shit. And now, of course, I have one, and I love them, and I love the brand, and I love the history. But also like the smaller brands that I used to be like, oh, it's because I was an Omega guy. I like Omega. But like, I used to think of all those little brands, oh, they're corny. I've fallen in love with so many small brands like Christopher Ward. They're beautiful, beautiful watches. So much detail, so much love, and it makes so much. I've loved Breitling. I used to think that was a stupid brand. I learned about their history. That's the one thing that's really interesting about getting into a hobby, finding out. I watch Wristwatch Revival, Marshall, see what made those Montres, Rolex movements. I think that they were way sexier back then, weren't they? When they had the big coronet on the rotor. I just thought they looked nicer. I know they've got a little tiny one now. I just like the way those movements looked back then. But you learn so much about different things that you like and you don't like. I wore the Milgas today, and he wore his Speedmaster. And it's funny because he wore a Speedmaster because he's coming to meet me. I just put on the Milgas because I wanted to. Because it gets, I wear the Speedmaster most days. I wear the Weekenders, the Seikos. But the Milgas I tend to wear when it's a fancier occasion, when things are nicer. And I was like, I'm going to the museum on the, on the Upper East Side. I'm going to wear something fancy. And it was, man, I took pictures of that. I so rarely, if ever, see that in sunlight. The way that green crystal, it's incredible. It's miraculous. Vasilios P says, same discussion today about, you talk about the, it's amazing, right? It truly happens. Easy E, some of the Dakota apartments went for 20 million in the past. I looked up so many units on Street Easy. I look at all the websites to see whatever it's one of the things that I do when I just want to do not covet thy neighbor's apartment, when I want to see somebody's, I want to see what's available. But I know somebody, because I studied with a guy named Marty Lawrence on 72nd Street. And, I told you I had been to the Dakota for 2 recitals in apartments there. And one of the guys was Messerling. I think his last name was Edgar Messerling. And him and his family bought his 10-room apartment in the 60s for $33,000. It was 10-room apartment. It was one of those massive Rosemary's Baby apartments. Actually, it was more like the Castevets. It was part of a original 15 or whatever. And that apartment's easily worth $30-40 million now. So, wow, those kids lucked out. Mart, oh, look at there's your kitty cat. So pretty. Good evening, everyone. Great to see you in the chat, Mart. Mart. The only other Mart I know is Mart Crowley, who wrote The Boys in the Band. Ray says, aircraft I have been in. Okay. An Alutech Heli, Dauphin Heli, the big rescue chopper, Cessna, Piper, Lion Air 2 prop, up to 1, biggest air fungus had, London to Sydney on what? Big one as well. Who cares? Who cares? He's saying who cares? Who cares, Ray? Nobody freaking cares. Aircraft I've been on. 707, DC 9, I guess, when I was a kid. 707 is the first one I remember. 747, DC-10, L-1011, MD-11, 767, 757, Airbus A330, Airbus A3, oh shit. What is the one that goes, the A321 Transcon? I think that's it. If I've been on anything else, I don't think so. I think that's it. A321, A330s, A320s, a million of those, because those are all the European ones. I think that's it. But I've been on 747s. I've been on a long time. Not been on the A380, that big giant monstrosity. I'd like to fly that. I heard it's super duper duper quiet. I'd love to go and fly that. Paul's been on it twice on Lufthansa. The only people flying 747-8s are Lufthansa, Korean Air. I think they're the only liveries, the only air carriers that have them. That's interesting. I probably, MD-88s. I've been on a ton of those. Yeah, I haven't been on any small prop planes ever in my life. And I've been on a couple of those KLM City Hoppers. I don't know what the fuck those were. They're just they're props, but I don't remember what they were. No idea, but they're big. Oh, and I've been on Kuko. Kuko was a Embraer kind of Learjet-y kind of thing. Very, very cool. Easy says, that's a wonderful roof garden. We didn't go. He said, you want to go to the roof garden? I was like, you've been to one roof garden, you've been to a million. And I've been on that, so I don't really care. And I wasn't, we weren't on a date and we weren't drinking. So, we didn't need to get romantical. Sikorsky, I've never been on a helicopter and I have no desire to ever be on one either. No thanks. You know what? There's only one way, up, down. That's it. Boom, boom. No gliding, no nothing. Everything fails. That's it. Plummet. No, thank you. Ray, C-130. Well, C-130. Wow, and a C-27. So you were in the military, kiddo. Good Blondie reference. I'm in the phone booth. It's a one across the hall. She didn't write it. It's a Nerves cover. And I can't wait to hear that. That's what she said, silly poo. Andrew Wogowich is in the room today. I'm here. Got home all hot and sweaty. Don't make us horny. That's not nice. Needed a soapy shower. Stop it. And I was thinking of you all. You're such a bad boy. Funny. You funny boys. You know what you're going to get? Cuckold man. She's had him in the dungeon for far too long. Oh shit. Voss, I forgot the huge US Galaxy at Shannon Airport. Were you on that? On the Galaxy? The Galaxy. I love that. Favorite of mine, the Vulcan bomber as in the Bond movie. Yeah, those, I mean, some of those aircraft are amazing. Oh, well, I've been on the Constellation. That doesn't count, right? I didn't fly on it. It's at the TWA Hotel at John F. Kennedy International Airport at the JetBlue Terminal. In front of it is the TWA T5 Saarinen Terminal, which anybody who comes to New York City, I highly recommend you go there for dinner and drinks. And if you have an overnight, I suggest you stay there. It's mid-century modern at its finest. And outside where the planes used to, where the gates used to be, they've brought a Constellation in a TWA livery, and it is a cocktail lounge. So you go outside, you go up the stairs, and it's a cocktail lounge, and it's really amazing. It's got like kind of chairs and couches and stuff. Very cool. Vulcan was a beauty. Sure was. Vulcan was amazing. Melly C, I used to think the same about Longines, but now I love them. And I've got some pictures because after Scotty L and I had our last embrace on the sidewalk, he went off to go meet a friend. He wound up did he say he wound up at Bloomingdale's? That's crazy. I think he said that in the thing. We were talking about how I don't read a lot of the emails before I show the pictures, and I'm gonna fix that today by opening up another mail, and this way I can see what people are saying, and that's a smart move, and that's what I'm gonna do. I think he said he went there and he took some pictures of some Longines, so we'll have a little bit of Longines for everybody, which I think is very, very cool. Vasilios P says the Galaxy C5 was a giant. Sure was. Andrew says, coveting thy neighbor's apartment, lusting ain't touching. It's cool. I just love to see the schematic. I love floor plans. I think floor plans are the sexiest thing that were ever invented. Amazing. But I love seeing all those old apartments that have not been bastardized and Peter Marino'd. And if you don't know what that reference is Peter Marino is this he looks like an old leather queen, but he's married, whatever. Girl, please. And he redid the Tiffany and Company's lobby, the first floor, and it went from being that beautiful wood. I said it on the stream. Yeah, this beautiful classic place it just looks like a rave now. Just looks like there should be techno music and there's projections on the wall. It's absolute bullshit. But you know what? They also have Jay-Z and Beyonce as their spokespeople. So that just goes to show you whatever knucklehead that Tiffany and Company, the classiest jewelry of the United States, hired those two numbnuts to become the face of their brand when it's like nothing says forever. Like he cheated on her, probably with her sister. Those two don't exude any class at all. They just exude money and tackiness. Blech. And it just looks like that now. Tiffany's got it all wrong. My sister used to work there when it was this storied, beautiful brand of elegance and style and savoir-faire. And now it's just like, blech. That lobby is a horror show. The Bristolum says, everything Rolex is now based on the foundation of durability. That's true. They're tanks. And, hey, listen, you want one of those, you want high horology, you go Vacheron or Moser or, Lange. You do that if you got that kind of dough. Rolex, while making great, incredible movements, they're hardy watches, man. You can't take your Speedmaster in the shower. I wouldn't, and I don't. Ray, correct. C5 played a game of volleyball in it. You guys are great. And guys are not putting asterisks, asterisk when you do a thing. Let me show you how it's done. Do this. Here you go. I'll show it to you. I'll show you how it works. Do that. So I know you're side chaining. Only because you're having private conversations. When you have a private conversation, you can have a private conversation. But sometimes I pull it up and I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. No idea at all. Vasilios, for you guys are still talking. Easy L1011s. I went to go on to France as a kid, very smooth. Now, American Airlines never had the L1011, the Lockheed L1011. At the time, it was the most advanced aircraft in the world. It could land itself. And I don't even think any of today's modern jetliners have that capability. They probably do on paper, but the L-1011 could actually do it. And it was, there was a race to make a tri-jet, so to speak, after the advent of the 747, which is ginormous comparatively, and it's still much bigger. The L-1011 and the DC-10 are very wide body planes, but with 3 engines, 1, 2, and 3, and they are one on each wing and one in the rear tail. And the DC-10 went on to be far more successful and also one of the most accident-prone planes in the world. It had a lot of accidents, a lot of problems. The L-1011 had very few. I think just that Everglades one was the big one. And that I believe Stephen Colbert's brother and father were on, which is very scary. Beautiful plane. It had no overhead luggage, no overheads in the back. So the whole back was open. So when you went into the coach section, it felt very roomy because they only had them on the sides and they were oversized. So apparently it could, I think they later retrofitted them because people started carrying, bags of tricks, circus animals, refrigerators, ranges, and all kinds of ridiculousness onto the aircraft with them. There used to be a time when people had 1 or 2 pieces of luggage. Now people have things that are boxes that are taped together. And I know, okay, here's a rant. When I go, listen, I have one bag. I have one bag. I take one bag. I have my little man bag, my man purse, for my immediate needs. And then I have this beautiful rollaway. It's not too big. It's not too small. Fits in anybody's slot. And that's how I get along. I've got, for whatever. If I have to do some laundry, I'd rather just do some laundry because I don't want any problems. I don't want to have to a flight attendant to tell me I have to check a bag. Have you ever gotten to the airport and somebody says check a bag? Oh my God, it's the worst thing. And it happened to me. We were flying from Rome to Trieste once, and she was going around taping people. So you got to check this. You got to check. I don't care what mistake that they made. And she goes, you got to check that. I said, no, I don't. And I didn't because I was mad. I had just come across the Atlantic. We got coach, which was really shitty. Now, you want to see Dirk in a bad mood? Because you've never seen that. Dirk in a bad mood is like when, because he's entitled to a first class on American Airlines. And I'll be like on the app furiously trying to reroute us so we don't get stuck in coach. And then it looks good. And then some flight attendant just says 37J. I'm like looking for 1 alpha. And she's like 42H. Anyway, it was fine. We got there, and then I had bought tickets on Alitalia to just, little hoppers to get over to whatever connection city we're headed towards, so then we can start whatever our travails are. And she wanted to make me check my bag. I fucking hate checking bags. I do not, as a rule, check bags when I go away. I try to never do it. And then there was the time when we were in Ireland, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and we all think we have everything right, and then we meet Ryanair. Anybody who's ever flown into Europe will know about Ryanair, and it's an experience you should have once. And I've done it once, right? Yeah, just the one time. And I've booked on Ryanair several times and found ways to avoid it because of what everybody says about it. And it seems to be true. We got there and met this alcohol-laden nasty queen who was throwing everybody's bags around, overcharged Emmett for his bag, saying it was a pound overweight or whatever crap that is. So I have this bag that I know is absolutely check proof. And that's it. My little man person. I'm good to go. And I'm happy with it. Yep. And I'm very, very happy. Oh, yeah. Well, Easy says Concorde should still be going. Saves passengers so much time. Costly, though. And I watched so many documentaries about the Concorde, and now there's Boom Supersonic, which is trying to make supersonic travel a thing again. 100 passenger planes. It's called the Aviation. They've been testing the engines on a different aircraft, and it looks like it's going to happen. American Airlines ordered 50. Delta ordered, United ordered 200. So it could be a thing since we're using smaller planes generally to get where we need to go, and it's supposed to be silent, and you're not going to feel the sonic boom. That's science. I don't know if we've met that criteria yet, but we'll see. And yeah, an average ticket on the Concorde was something. They changed the price. They doubled the price overnight. I watched a documentary. They changed the price overnight on the Concorde because they realized that companies were paying for the tickets and secretaries were booking the tickets for their bosses, and nobody ever was haggling or bitching or trying to get sales or any of that stuff because it was all first class. And they just went, I think it went from 10,000 to 20,000 in one day, and they said no one batted an eye. And you sit down, it's Dom Perignon, it's caviar, it's all prime rib, and it's all that stuff. So what are you gonna do? AA had a bunch of MD-80s, hated them. I called them the yellow school bus of the skies. I'll tell you what I love about MD-80s. American had tons of them, all the regionality shit. One time we were going to Montreal out of LaGuardia for my friend Mary's wedding, and it was 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever. It was really early. We got first, which is like 2 rows of bucket seats on an MD-80. It's nothing for an hour flight, half an hour flight. And this is what I loved about it, because pilots loved flying those planes, and you always got a hot dog pilot. So you're taxiing, you do go around to get on the thing, and he doesn't stop. You know how when you stop at the runway before he goes and pushes the throttles forward? Now this guy just did the thing like that, and you just took off. Those things were super maneuverable, and pilots loved to fly them. They're just meant to get you where you need to go. There's no luxury. I mean, I've been on first class in those, and it's terrible. But anyway, the woman comes up, would you like anything to drink? And I said, sure, I'll have a mimosa, hold the orange juice. And then we ordered it another round, and she comes around again. She just took the bottle and went like this and walked away. Then like right before we're about to land, the guy, of course, he goes, I'd like to get a mimosa. And she goes, we're out of champagne. Oops. Roar the Tiger. Small STOL. Pilatus Porter. A huge over fuselage wingspans with a gigantic turboprop and Bell Huey slick. That is a lot of tongue twisterly language. Very interesting. Roar the Tiger knows his stuff. I'd love for a proper architect to do a detailed drawing of the interior and exterior of some of those ruined cathedrals and churches so we could see what they looked like when they were in their prime. I think that there are. I think that there's a lot of stuff. When I was in Greece, a lot of the ruins there had plaques of what it looked like, and they were beautiful artistic renderings. They were not any kind of shabby affairs. They were quite beautiful. SR-71 Blackbirds, during 9/11, they flew right over my house. Like we're out on the deck and we saw them. We're like, holy shit, this is serious. Wasn't the airfare from New York to Paris and Concorde about 3,000 even back then? No. I think it was maybe in the 70s it was. But I remember watching that documentary, and it's an official documentary. And they said that they upped it from like 10 grand to 20 grand. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Ray says, don't mind Tiffany's. You got Stumpy on Brittleby Biden. Okay. Here's my sister. I knew she'd chime in on this. John Loring, Tiffany's old design director, must be ill from the dismantling of the store. I have not stepped foot inside the store. I've just ogled it from the outside and went, oh my God. And the doorman said, what are you looking at at the first floor? I said, yeah. He goes, everybody hates it. I was like, that's correct. Magic Mike 71. Thank you, Dirk, for your suggestion of Burt Reynolds' autobiography. I'm reading it right now, and it's a page turner. Hey, he is certainly the last of a certain breed of Marlboro men. You know what? I'm so glad you liked it. I really enjoyed his book. Now, here's my next suggestion for you, because it's very interesting. Sally Field in Pieces. It's a great book as well. You get to know a little bit more of Burt being a Marlboro man from her perspective. Now, in his book, of course, he says that she's the one that got away, and I totally believe that's true. But I think men came from a certain kind of different kind of lane back then, and I loved Burt's book, and I think Burt was a very underrated and a great star. And it's true, men are not the same shit anymore. They really aren't. It's all kind of crazy. What are you gonna do? Anyway, having said all that, it is 20 minutes to the hour. So what does that mean? It means, hold on. There you go. It means this.
The gallery of bastards, send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The gallery of bastards, you share them with me, and I share with the world.
Boom. The gallery of bastards starts now. Let's start off with a little bit of competition for the top stare. Little kitty cat action from everybody's favorite mascot of the show. It's the girls. And that's not always, look at that. They're looking so cute. Isn't that funny? Cats always want what the other cat wants. I haven't had two cats in a while, but I did. Glaucus lived with Murray, and Murray lived with Laverne. And they both lived with Bruce and Clara. But Laverne was by herself for about 8 years. And so there was none of that. But I did, but Murray and Glaucus, when they lived together, they were best friends and best enemies sometimes. And you can't always be sure. You never really know. How can I be sure in a world that's constantly changing? How can I be sure? So many people have done that song. The most famous one is The Rascals, I think. It's my least favorite one. My two favorites are David Cassidy's. I think the best one is Dusty Springfield by far. But second, I'd say 1, Dusty Springfield, 2, David Cassidy, 3, The Rascals. Great song, though. Absolutely great. Andrew also says, we see the hierarchy in action, and there it goes. And so it goes. You're going to be swatty and mean. You always wonder why they do that when they're swatty and mean. They don't mean it. They just do it because they're cats. That's what cats do. Hey, and did I show this last night? My name is from, hold on. This is from Mr. Love. They call him Scotty Love. He is the doctor of love. Scotty Love. I don't know what the hell that is. That is some kind of prehistoric sexual pleasuring device. Wow, what is that? Well, I can read what it is, right? And it is, I'll tell you right now. The strangest things grow in my backyard in the summer. He lives in Florida, where I don't know, or do I? But still, that's none of anybody's business but his own. That's Mr. Scotty Love, who I spent the day with. Here's another one. And listen, this guy, his art history is crazy. He's also an artist in his own right, and he's doing some drapery. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Look at the drapery on this. Just pencil sketches. Beautiful. I love this because I love unfinished works because they look like apparitions to me. And we talked about unfinished works. And we also talked about artists who use other artists to complete and or completely do their work. And I got quite the education today from him about like certain artists. Like when I was in Florence and I saw all the discarded Michelangelos, that he just said, this is crap. And we had previously been talking about, Da Vinci and Rodin and people who, all those coons and all the people that are fakes, when they had all these assemblage of people to complete their work. He does the hands and she does the feet and he does this. And Michelangelo had nobody but himself. He would just go in there, not use anything, and just start making it happen. Because I don't remember the exact quote, but he said it today, and he said that the sculpture is in there, I just bring it out, which is nuts. And this is quite beautiful. And I love that. I love the drapery. I don't know how anybody does that. I have no idea how anybody does that. Mr. McKenzie doing some gardening. Beautiful. Of this beautiful thatched cottage in Blois. This is what all the houses look like when I was a kid. You drive down the lane. I love these houses. They're beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. He does a great job. And yes, kids, there are palm trees in the UK and Ireland. They're just kind of like scraggly and ugly. But they're cute. That's very lovely. Beautiful job with the lawn. It's almost like a baseball game, when they have a special mower that gives a design in there. Looks super cool. Oh, and the edging is quite advanced. And it looks like they have a parking lot for there. Is that a main road? Wow. That's very nice. And a nice place to have petit déjeuner. Oh, they do. They have a well. Oh, look at that. Oh, a Jaguar and a Mercedes. Fancy clients. The walkway, very beautiful. You do beautiful work, man. Oh, that's nice. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, I like those. Are those egrets? Very beautiful. Oh, wow. Oh, it's a farm. Look at that, man. That's a total farm. Oh, God, is there anything better than that in the world? Oh, that's their kitchen. Oh, man. That's all. I don't ask for much at all. That's beautiful. What a place to cook and eat, stare at the world. Wow, what a nice thing. Wow. And is that roof glass too? Holy shit. I love an old bird bath. So, okay, so Dean, what are these things called here? These you can see my mouse on the screen. What are these things called? Because I have one on my deck and it is not doing well. My basil, by the way, exploded. Thank you all for Easy and Dean for helping me out with that. And Mimi, you all really helped me. It's exploded. But I have got like this plant and it's not doing well. I think maybe the pot it's in is enormous. But does it have to be taken out of the pot because it's so big? But it's getting all brown and sad and creepy. If you know, let me know about that and I will attend to that. Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Dean. Thank you so much for your trip to the garden. It's quite beautiful. Aaron O'Malley. Oh shit, what happened? He's been wearing a watch. Those O'Malley boys have thick wrists, man. Look at the size of the wrist on this guy. Uh-oh. Farmer tan, as we call it. Farmer tan. O'Malley. Yeah, you could wear a big Panerai on that big wrist too. Okay, next up. Al Benedetti with a Doxa. Who doesn't love a Doxa? Oh, looks great. Great dial. You know, I love the simplicity of these watches. I just love the dials. I love the colors. That cream on the indices and on the bezel with that blue. It's beautiful. I like Doxa a lot. Look at that bracelet. The bead bracelet. That's rice bracelet. Beautiful. Oh, look, you're one of those guys that puts the cover over your how do you do that? Mine would have crumbs all over it. Thanks, man. Very much. Thank you for that. Thank you. Mr. Lassick. Hey. Jim Lassick in the house. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look at that. Weesh. Oh, brother, bread and butter. Carolyn's like, what? That's absolutely beautiful. Wow. Wow. Hey, there they are. Looking great. Rolling Thunder. My band had a song called Rolling Thunder. When I joined the band, they were together for a couple of months. They had a song called Rolling Thunder. I don't know whatever happened to that song. Tiki Akibaki, if you're in the room right now, whatever happened to that song, Rolling Thunder? I remember that was a song that you guys showed to me, but I don't remember if, because they had a bunch of songs. Metal Sport, Live for Tomorrow, Winds of Warning. They were already kind of there, mostly finished. And then they had this song called Rolling Thunder, but I don't remember what happened on that song, but I remember that you had it. There he is in full garb. Now, the last time we saw Mr. Lassick, he was beautifully attired And he's this is a guy that doesn't like to call attention to himself. And listen, I'm very mean when it comes to suit and tailoring and shoes, and he was playing it all down. But you know something, Mr. Lassick, first of all, the guy's in unbelievable shape. You want to look great in a suit, get in shape. You can make any suit look great. Anyway, he said he had the tuxedo. It was black, and he said that he had it taken in because he's as fit as a fiddle. And he said his shoes were, I think he said they were Florsheim. Hey, man, all the best businessmen in the whole wide world wore Florsheim back in the day. You don't have to spend $800 on a pair of shoes to make everything look good. You know what you have to do? You have to have class, style, great tailoring, which you did. You had it taken in, and it looked fantastic. And the ability to know how to put a tie and socks and shoes into an ensemble, and you looked amazing. And his wife is absolutely stunning. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Lassick. Always great to have you in the room. Mimi's here, and she says Loki. She's talking about her beautiful kitty cat. She's a cat lady. Always has been. Oh, hello, Loki. They love those kind of rugs. They're like the burlap things with, and they don't get ruined either. They'll scratch them up, but they won't get ruined, which is amazing. Thanks, Meme. Love ya. Okay. Oh yeah, I want to show this. I wanted to show this. Remember the other day I was talking to Ken, and I told him how much I liked this photograph. Love it. I think it's beautiful. And so what I wrote to him, and I said, hey, or I said it on the show, or whatever it is I said, blah, blah, blah. I said, if we get this, like a blow up of this and print it and frame it, I'll do that. And we'll give it away on the Bashers, and he'll sign it. How about that? I'll send it to him. He'll sign it, and we'll give it away in the future. We will do that because it's absolutely beautiful. If you look at it, it's like got a regulator on it and a balance bridge and all this stuff. And it's a safe. It's a timer on a safe, and it's absolutely beautiful. I think it's a gorgeous piece of art. I love the way his eye caught this. He's an artist in many regards, but this was just absolutely beautifully done. I love it. And he said yes. Isn't that nice? Because he's a bastard like you. I'm a bastard, you're a bastard. Wouldn't you like to be a bastard too? Stefan's here with some Wimbledon shots. Let's have a look at them. Always great to share. Well, nobody won, so this is last year. Oh, no, we saw these the other day. Oh, these are great. You just resent them. Okay, that's fantastic. Oh, yeah, remember we tried to figure out who's famous there, and that's the Henman Hill thing. How did I show this already? Maybe you just resent. Maybe you didn't see it in the show. But anyway, that's great. Thank you so much. I don't want to think that we did. We did. We went through them in a big way. That was today, right? Yeah, okay. Becky Brown, Gallery 1, Italia Ventimiglia. Oh, look at this. She's on the move. Is that right on the border? Are you in border town? In the south of France? And then you just like walk a foot and you're in Italy? Amazing. Oh, that polizia. I'll tell you, can I just say that I've never seen better dressed police people in my life. The Carabinieri, the high Italian police, they look like gods with their capes and it's amazing. And yeah, they're in shape too. Look at that Piemonte. Okay, let's see. Beautiful fragole. Wow, they are gorgeous. Wow, look at that. So $9.80 a kilo, right? Look at this. Where are we? My favorite thing, and I even told this to Scott E. Love today, was that my favorite place to go in foreign countries is supermarkets. I have a fetish of supermarkets. I love to see what people are buying. I like to see what produce they have. Mercato di something or other, something market. I love to see what they're peddling. And my favorite supermarkets in the world are, surprise, in Italy. Thank you so much. Anyway, to get back to Stefan for a minute, he's got some information, and now that I have two screens open, I can read them. He goes, "Thanks for posting. He missed the live show, but caught up. The pics were taken with his cell phone because I said that they were really wanted. I think it was a Pixel 6 at the time, so imaging a bit off on the zoom. Isn't that supposed to be a great one? He's got pictures of the Royal Box. We'd love to see those, Steven, sorry. It's always hard because like Steven in America is Steven. Steven. I guess Stefan would be with an extra E at the end. Somebody clarify that for me because I've always wanted to know. Or is it Stefan's an A? Could be. Gallery 2 from Becky Brown. We love our Becky Brown. We love what she shares with us. She says, looks like strawberries to me. You're so funny. This is Ventimiglia. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. It's painting. Isn't that cool? Somebody painted that. Paul will love this because that's beautifully done. Look at the. We were looking at a lot of art today, a lot of perspective today, and that is beautifully rendered, man. Look at that. From far away, it looks like they're flying into the wall. Oh, yeah. See, you can't beat this. Look at that shop. I want to go to there. Dolce, Salato, Prodotti, Tipici. Look at that. Beautiful. Uh-oh. I see Bolocco right there. That means cookies. And some yachts, because you're going to find those, because you're on the Italian Riviera now. Borgo Forte. Borgo del Forte. Look at that. I've never been in that region. I've never been to the south of France nor the Italian Riviera. One of these days, I'll get there. Thank you, Becky Brown. You're a sweet one, Becky Brown. Thank you so much. Eminem. Oh, no, there's 3. Did I get those? Oh, no. Becky Brown, part 3. Don't want to miss out on that. She's having a cappuccino. I don't know how to say cinnamon in Italian. I don't know how. I don't know. One of you Italian speakers, let me know. Cannolo, Siciliano. Well, the thing is, listen, I'm not saying that people, I don't like cannoli anyway, because it's not my thing. Obviously, cannolo means one. And that's what people go, I'd like to have a cannoli. Of course, that's incorrect. You would like to have a cannolo. But Sicily is the birthplace of it. That doesn't mean that's the only great place you can get them. I'm sure somewhere else, but obviously it's like going to Napoli and getting pizza and wherever you go, Prosecco for Prosecco and Champagne for Champagne. There's history and beauty in those things. And those look good, I guess, if you like that kind of thing. It's not my thing at all. I don't like, and those are ricotta, so maybe I will like them because in the city, in New York City, in America, a holy fuck show, they put mascarpone cheese in there, and I do not like that stuff at all. That is beautiful. Look at that. Ooh. We got a sun beating down on everybody, but they're in paradise. Gorgeous. Thank you, Becky Brown. Thank you so much, Miss Becky Brown. Melly C, Summer Madness. You know who that means? Mork and Mindy in the house. Wow. Oh, look at you sleeping like a baby. He looks so small. I know he's not, but he looks it. Oh, oop, she's angered. Somebody's pissing her off. What are you doing there, baby? That would win 1 million contests, because look at that. Oh, man, that face. Oh, man, it's so hard to take. Ooh, the dilated pupils. What's going on there? Oh, she's stretching. There's nothing cuter. Nothing cuter at all. Thank you for the Summer Madness. We love Mork and Mindy. They're such big stars. Okay, we got... Oh, Hector. Carlos Paggi sending a picture of Hector. We've never had one as guinea pig on the show. Look how cute that guy is. Oh, my God. Look at that. That's so great. We have animals in our world. That's adorable. Thank you so much. He's adorable. What a face on him. Oh. What do you feed him? What do they eat? I have no idea. I've never had one. Chris Boyd with Poppy. Poppy used to be first time. We saw Poppy first time on the beach. Looks like Poppy to me is an expert on the beach now. Look at that. Oh, man. What a beautiful, beautiful lady. Oh, thank you so much. That's so beautiful. Andrew says he got home. So here's a picture of him that he took when he got in the door. This is what he gets every day. I missed that. Carlos Paca says he loves parsley. I love parsley too. Look at you, you beautiful beast. Hector, what a cute name too. Well, you're a baby. Careful, your foot's going to get destroyed very soon. Now, here's some pictures. Well, here, let's go there. Let's go with Easy. He's got some. I'll show my pictures last. My pictures with Scotty Love. This is Easy E and some of the beautiful flowers that he puts together for everyone. Tomatoes on the vine. I've got tomatoes outside, but they're, tomatoes are weird. I found it something very interesting today. I didn't know that marijuana and tomatoes have the same like alkalinity and acidity. So the way you grow them, they can be similar. I didn't know that. Well, excuse us with the root beer. Wow. Oh my God, is that an Aperol Spritz in a bottle? Oh my God, that must be terrible. That must be so bad. I did not know that they made spritzes in the commercially already made in a bottle. I'm super afraid of that. Wow. Oh, look at the basil. That looks good. Okay. I'm going to take a picture of my basil today and I'll show it tomorrow. Because it looks good. But I have to say, man, I am out there every single day cutting the seeds, the seed things up, like these little trees of seeds that pop up. It wants to go to seed so bad, and I really want it to stop doing that. I just want big, beautiful leaves, so I cut them back like right at the thing, and I do what you guys all said, and you all were in agreement. But like, I'll go out, I'll do it. I did it yesterday, did it this morning. And then tonight I'll go out there to do the nighttime watering and I'll see a ton of those. So I don't know why that happens. That basil looks delicious. I can make some pesto out of that, baby. And I only like pesto cold now. I don't like it hot anymore. I don't know what happened. I lost my taste for it entirely. And Angelo Minichello with some beautiful flowers. Hey guys, competition. Mr. Minichello with some beautiful flowers. Angelo says canela is how you say cinnamon. I never knew that. Thank you so much. I had no idea how you said cinnamon. Canela. Roar the Tiger says, take the cannolis, leave the gun. Yeah, because, the English speakers are so used to putting S's on the ends of words to make them plural. Obviously, that doesn't work in Italian. This is beautiful. Those are gorgeous. Wow. Oh, is that a mosquito that just blew into my face? There was a mosquito in the museum today too, which was really weird. So the first ones I have are me on the street with my Milgauss, because I couldn't believe how green it was so bright out. It just looked so cool. So I was like, holy smokes. It was so green. It looked so nice. It looked so good. I took two. And then there's the two of us at the museum. Now he's got like one of the first, he's got a Hesselite with an exhibition case back. So that's the first one in space, right? First Omega in space. But like they had a very small, I think it was the 359250, right? Am I right? 3592. If you're probably not watching the show because you're probably all filled up with, but I think it was the 359250. But that's me wearing his watch and him wearing my watch. Now he's got a 8-inch wrist, so I just took the extender off because I had the, I used the Easy Link. I had that compressed a little bit, opened it up for him, but it was still tight on him. He would need an extra link or two. Nice meaty wrist on him, that's for sure. Great wrist presence. And that's me with the Speedmaster first Omega in space, but the first one, the one that wasn't a sapphire sandwich. It's Sapphire on the back. Sapphire on the back, Hesselite on the front. Beautiful though. That's us comparing watches. Really, really cool. This is a Salvador Dali, and I took it from far away. I didn't see the ear. I just saw the pointillism and I saw the woman. And then when I stepped back and I put the camera on, I was like, oh shit, there's an ear there. I didn't take a lot of pictures of a lot of art. This is Thomas Hart Benton, which is Paul's favorite artist. So I took these mostly for him, but I figured I'd show you. I didn't take a lot of, but this Paul loves this. Once I built a railroad, made it run, brick and rivet and rhyme. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? That's what I said. It's Depression era stuff. It's great. I love Thomas Hart Benton. And there's the two of us. That's Scotty Love. Scotty Love. He is the doctor of love. Scotty Love. What a great dude. And there's us. That's a nice shot. Aw. That's great. Look at that. With our Met stickers. What a super duper guy. What a great person to know. And I took these for Hardcore Shutterbug because I thought he'd enjoy them. And I see that you're in the room. I don't know if you're popping in or popping out. Wow. Look at this, because this is a gong. Well, there's me pretending I know a lot about guitars, which I do. But that was a Jimmy D'Acquisto guitar, which was really cool. He said, point at it and pretend you know what you're talking about, which I did. Yeah, that's Jimmy D'Acquisto. That is a guitar that was built for a guy named Jim Hall. He's one of the greatest jazz guitar players ever in the world. And I knew somebody who used to sleep with him. That's all I'm saying. And there's the D'Acquisto. Very beautiful guitars. Very pricey. That's a very small luthier in New York City. That went on to fame and fortune as the apprentice of John D'Angelico. Now, D'Angelico guitars are worth millions and millions of dollars because they are prized possessions, handmade instruments, always made for people that were big stars. And this is some shots that Scotty Love took for me on his sojourn home. And the very beautiful Longines. We were talking about Longines, and now you love it, Melly C. Beautiful. I love this watch. Took some Carreras. Look at that. He went into Bloomingdale's. He was looking for his friend who works there, and he wasn't there. See? Very nice. That I always liked that watch. I'd like one that was just Hoyer, though. The Monaco, of course, the new iteration. Skeletonized. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. And that is the gallery of Basherdirk.
The gallery of Basherdirk. Send me the shots, the sublime views of words. The gallery of Basherdirk. You share them with me, and I share with the world.
Let me get that off the screen. Why is that still there? Let me get back to the chats before wrapping up the show. Where was I? Okay, that was the Burt Reynolds autobiography. Andrew says, sometimes the chats remind me of old party lines. And how? Roar the Tiger says, ever take luggage aboard late connection using a pink ticket? We all did. Ryanair screwed me over big time. No one will ever fly with them again. If you fly with them once, listen, the flight I had with them was fine. We were going from Dublin to Bergamo in Italy. The flight itself was fine. It was just the getting on the plane was just hell on earth. I once flew from the UK to Mallorca, Spain, and they told us free check-in for one carry-on, and they were overbooked at a hotel in Spain. I noticed my Versace sunglasses were missing. Hitesh C, oh God, that's scary. Ray says, Lion Air, Ireland's backup airline service. Come fly with us and your luggage. Yeah, that's true. Angelo Minichello, trip to Ottawa as a kid on DC-3. Wow, that's a cool. I would love to fly on one of those. Would you believe that the Lockheed says the SR-71 isn't black? It's a dark shade of blue. Is that true? I mean, it looks gray, actually. Black and gray. I don't know. Who knows? It comes with batteries. Andy M, do you know the Moo Moo Lands, KLF, and Dusty Absolutely Brilliant? I do. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Andrew says, I remember that. Dusty did a great job. Because, she's got that. How can I be sure in a world that's constantly changing? She's so late with phrases. She's so late. Like Katie Lang, she'd play, and Frank obviously was the king of swing. She plays with the time so much that it just moves you. And nowadays they would lock it to a grid and nobody sings like that now. That's why she's retired. Andy M says, Andrew, you're clearly a man of taste. I should have known, as Andrew is a label for excellence. Indeed it is. Oh, that's nice. Basil loves hot sun. My planner is going beyond nuts. Yeah, I have my basil in the hot sun, but I make sure I water it every morning before the sun's up and after the sun goes down. Isn't that a Garth Brooks song? Very nice landscaping, says Dean. You're not doing the double asterisks. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. Okay, that's fine. Faulty Towers. Hey, Jim Lassick 499. Hello, friends. Just made it to the party. Great to see you. And it was great to see your shots. The sublime indeed. Jim Lassick says, I used to fly 4-seat Piper Warriors. You were a licensed pilot? I did not know that. There's no end to this guy's accomplishments. Incredible. Andy M says, a well-cut suit can make anyone look good no matter how big or small you may be. Tailoring. It's all about the tailoring. Roar the Tiger says, if I'm not mistaken, Rolling Thunder is derived from the earthquake effect off a B-52 bombing. I didn't know that, but now I might. And there's Steve, Hardcore Shutterbug. We'll meet tomorrow. You call me at 6:30 in the morning. He just started working in my neighborhood. We'll go out and get some double espressos. Italy is one of the biggest manufacturers of super yachts. Did know that. Where the Tiger says, take the cannolis, leave the gun. Isn't that true? Watch, it's Brian. She looks like she's saying, I'm not smiling for Dirk ever. She looked mad, right? She absolutely looked mad at everyone. The basil trick, the guys taught me. When it starts to seed, like, here's the leaves and here's the nasty thing, cut it right down there. Boom, get that out of there, or just pop it. And that's what I don't even cut it. I pop it out. And then like a day later, there's leaves there. It's unbelievable. Andy M says, there was once a children's TV show in the UK called Herbs, or Herbs, as everybody says now. There was a green line called Parsley, and it protected the magical garden they all lived in. Oh, that's so cute. Where does the big band music come from in the intros? The music for this channel is mostly done by Emmett O'Malley. The big band music is for the Bashers channel. You have to ask Oshin about that, because he did the Bashers theme, because I was working on one independently, but he was already deep. So he combined what I did with vocals and stuff, and then the music he assembled himself, and I guess he played it via MIDI, I'm assuming, because since he didn't have a horn section, or maybe he used samples, I don't know. But the all the stuff that, the Gallery of Bastards and Sunday Mass and all that stuff, those are all the Bash About. Those are all Emmett O'Malley contributions and all stuff that he plays. He writes and plays, and I just get to sing on it. And ain't that the fun thing? We're justified and sacred. We drive an ice cream van. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the show for today. I want to thank all of you for showing up. Thank you to all the beautiful super chatters out there that help me out, because this is my career now, and I appreciate the support. Every possible thing you could do for me, I'm grateful. I want to thank everybody who contributed to the Gallery of Bastards. You guys are truly amazing, wonderful people, and I love being here every single day for you. And a special shout out to the incomparable Scotty Love for taking me out and inviting me to the museum and spending a wonderful day of new friendship and incredible camaraderie I absolutely, I have a man crush on that guy in a big way. What a sweet, 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 wonderful guy, and and I look forward to meeting each and every one of you whenever you're in the New York area and you want to jump out of a plane. Remember, I'm doing that in August. Oh my God, it's coming up! Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you, and always remember that when you encounter unkindness, you cannot know what that person is going through. They might be having a bad day. Give them a little room. Give them some room to hang themselves. Either they're just going through something terrible, or else they're just a